Hello everyone, welcome to LMNN classes. I am your Wali Sahab. In this video we are going to discuss about cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Before we are going to discuss about cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation, first we have to define the two terms. One is phosphorylation and another one is photophosphorylation. So here phosphorylation is nothing but the synthesis of ATP molecule from the ADP and inorganic phosphate by the cells, which is particularly occurs in the chloroplast and mitochondria. So here the addition of phosphate group to the ADP molecule to form ATP, which is a phosphorylation. When it is occurs in the presence of light, that is called as here photophosphorylation. So here when it is occurs in the presence of light, that is called as here photophosphorylation. So here the photophosphorylation process which is occurs in the photosynthetic cellular organelle, that is here chloroplast. So here the chloroplast is a photosynthetic cellular organelle. Then for the synthesis of ATP molecule in the chloroplast, it requires the proton gradient. It requires the proton gradient. When does the proton gradient is created in the chloroplast, and where does the proton gradient is created in the chloroplast? So here the proton gradient which is created in the lumen of thylakoid. Here the proton gradient is created in the lumen of thylakoid. And when it is occurs in the chloroplast, so here during the transportation of electrons from one carrier to another carrier. So here the electron carriers which are located on the thylakoid membranes. So here through the electron transport system or the photosystems, here the electrons are transferred from one carrier to another carrier. So during the transportation of electrons from one carrier to another carrier, here the protons are translocated from stroma into the lumen of thylakoids. So here the protons are translocated from stroma into the lumen of thylakoids. And then the proton accumulation which is highly occurs in the lumen of thylakoids. The protons which are also released from the water molecule when it is broken down into the protons and electrons and releases oxygen by the light, photolysis of water. So here the protons which are also highly accumulated in the lumen of thylakoid to create proton gradient. So here where does the proton gradient is created in the chloroplast? So here the proton gradient which is created in the lumen of thylakoid. And when does the proton gradient is created in the lumen of thylakoid? Here particularly the proton gradient which is created in the lumen of thylakoids during the electron transport system. And then what is the use of proton gradient? Here the proton gradient is required for the synthesis of ATP because of when it is broken down and releases a certain amount of energy, that is here PMF, proton motive force, which can causes conformational changes in the F1 of ATP synthase. F1 of ATP synthase. So here the F1 of ATP synthase has the catalytic activity further which is involved in the synthesis of ATP molecule from the ADP and inorganic phosphate. So here the photophosphorylation reaction which is catalyzed by here enzyme, that is ATP synthase. ATP synthase. Thus the photophosphorylation which is also known as here enzymatic reaction. Enzymatic reaction. We will later discuss about the proton gradient and transportation of electrons in the later classes. And then here coming to phosphorylation reactions types. So here photophosphorylation is nothing but here the ATP molecule which is synthesized from the ADP and inorganic phosphate in the presence of light. So here in the photophosphorylation process, the ATP which is synthesized further used in the carbon reduction process. And also used in the biosynthesis of biosynthesis of fatty acids, amino acids and starch. So here the synthesized ATP molecule further used in the carbon reduction as well as in the biosynthesis of amino acids, fatty acids and also in the starch. So here this is the utilization of ATP molecule which is produced during the light reactions, which is utilized in the dark reaction. And then here the types of photophosphorylation. So here there are two types of photophosphorylation reactions. They are cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So here coming to cyclic photophosphorylation. Cyclic photophosphorylation. Here the cyclic photophosphorylation which is occurs in the stroma lamella. The cyclic photophosphorylation which is occurs in the stroma lamella or non-oppressed regions of thylakoid membranes. Non-oppressed regions of thylakoid membrane, they are here the stroma lamella. And then in the cyclic photophosphorylation there is only involvement of photosystem 1 but not the photosystem 2. So here the cyclic photophosphorylation which is lack of here photosystem 2 and NADP plus reductase. So here the photosystem 1 is only involved in the cyclic photophosphorylation because of it is only functional and active. Which is only functional and active. So here the functionally active photosystem 1 is only involved in the cyclic photophosphorylation. And then the cyclic photophosphorylation which is predominantly found in bacteria. So here the cyclic photophosphorylation found dominantly in the bacteria. And then in the cyclic photophosphorylation the electrons flow in cyclic manner. That means in the cyclic photophosphorylation the initial electron donor and final electron acceptor both are same. So here where the electrons are released from the cyclic photophosphorylation reaction. Then here the ATP molecule is synthesized in the cyclic photophosphorylation at two steps. I will show where the ATP molecule is synthesized in the cyclic photophosphorylation at two steps. And let us see the flow of electrons in the cyclic photophosphorylation. So here the photosystem 1, that is here the PS700. Around the PS700 here the chlorophyll pigments are located. This chlorophyll pigment absorb the light energy. So here the PS1, that is here photosystem 1. In the photosystem 1 the reaction center is P700. The reaction center is here the P700. Around the reaction center here the chlorophyll pigments are present which absorb the light energy. So here the PS1 absorb the light energy or sufficient light energy and releases electrons and goes to excited state. So here it releases electrons and goes to excited state. The excited state of PS700 donate its electron to the primary electron acceptor, that is here ferredoxin. That is here the ferredoxin, which is a iron sulfur protein component. Then the ferredoxin which is transfer the electrons to the plastoquinone. Plastoquinone. Then the plastoquinone transfer the electrons to the cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F complex. The cytochrome F complex transfer the electrons to the plastocyanin. Then plastocyanin again come back to the P700. That is reaction center of photosystem 1. So here this is the cyclic flow of electrons in the cyclic photophosphorylation. During the transportation of electrons, here the ATP molecule is synthesized. Here the ATP is synthesized at the two steps in the cyclic photophosphorylation. One ATP is synthesized in between the electron carriers of cyclic photophosphorylation. They are ferredoxin and plastoquinone. ATP and inorganic phosphate and ATP molecule. And another ATP which is also synthesized in between the complex of cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F. So here with the help of the proton gradient. Here the ATP molecule which is synthesized at the cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F complex with the help of the proton gradient. So here the protons which are translocated from stroma into the lumen of the thylakoids. Here the proton gradient is created which is required for the synthesis of ATP molecule from the ADP and inorganic phosphate. So here in the cyclic photophosphorylation the ATP molecules which are synthesized at the two steps. So here the electrons which are flow in the cyclic photophosphorylation as cyclic manner because of the initial electron donor and initial electron final electron acceptor, both are same. So here the P700 is a reaction center of PS1 that absorbs the sufficient energy and releases electrons and goes to excited state. Here excited state of P700 donate its electron to the primary electron acceptor, that is ferredoxin. Here ferredoxin is a iron sulfur component, and then the ferredoxin transfer its electron to the plastoquinone. During the transferring of electrons from ferredoxin to plastoquinone, here ADP molecule is synthesized from the ADP and inorganic phosphate. Then the plastoquinone transfer the electron to the cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F complex. Here also same, the one ATP molecule is synthesized from the ADP and inorganic phosphate. Then the cytochrome B6F complex which is transferred the electron to the plastocyanin. So here the plastocyanin is a copper containing mobile carrier. Copper containing mobile carrier. So here which is also involved in the electron transport system. So here the plastocyanin further transfer the electron to the initial electron donor, that is PS700. So here the electrons finally come back to the P700, that is reaction center of PS1. So here the loss of electrons from the P700 or the reaction center of PS1 replaced by here the plastocyanin at the final step of the cyclic photophosphorylation. So here if we observe the cyclic photophosphorylation, here the involved photosystem is here the only PS1. Involved photosystem is here PS1. And then initial electron donor is P700. And then initial electron acceptor in the cyclic photophosphorylation or PS1, that is here iron sulfur protein or ferredoxin. Ferredoxin or iron sulfur protein. And then final electron acceptor in the cyclic photophosphorylation, here PS700 or photosystem 700. And then the produced products are the produced products in the cyclic photophosphorylation, there are only here the ATP molecule, but not the NADPH molecule. So here in the cyclic photophosphorylation, there is no involvement of PS2. There is no involvement of PS2. PS2 is not involved in the cyclic photophosphorylation, and there is no photolysis of water. It is not associated with photolysis of water, and also not releases oxygen during the cyclic photophosphorylation. And then here the lack of NADP plus reductase enzyme. NADP plus reductase enzyme. So here in the non-cyclic in the cyclic photophosphorylation, there is no involvement of photosystem 2, and also there is no presence of photolysis of water, and there is no releasing of oxygen, and there is no presence of NADP plus reductase enzyme. So here in the cyclic photophosphorylation, there is only involvement of photosystem 1, and initial electron donor is PS700, and initial electron acceptor is ferredoxin or iron sulfur component, and then final electron acceptor is PS700, and produced products are here ATP molecule. So here the ATP is synthesized at the 2 steps in the cyclic photophosphorylation. This is cyclic photophosphorylation. And then coming to non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Coming to non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Here the non-cyclic photophosphorylation reaction, which is occurs in the thylakoid membranes. Thylakoid membranes. So here where it is occurs in the chloroplast. So here the non-cyclic photophosphorylation which is occurs in the thylakoid membrane are oppressed regions of thylakoids. Oppressed regions of thylakoids. And then in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation reaction, there is involvement of the 2 photosystems, that is photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. So here the both photosystems which are functionally active in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, thus both are involved in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, PS1 and PS2. In the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, the electron flow which is appears as here unidirectional and zigzag. Unidirectional and zigzag. So here the electron flow which is occurs in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation as unidirectional or the zigzag. Thus the non-cyclic photophosphorylation which is appears as Z shape. So here the scientists Robert Hill and Bendall given the name to the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, that is here Z scheme. Z scheme. So here the Z scheme name was given by the scientist Robert Hill and Bendall. Robert Hill and Bendall. Because of the flow of electrons occurs as here the unidirectional and zigzag in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Thus it appears as Z shape. Thus the Z scheme, the name was given by Robert Hill and Bendall. And then the non-cyclic photophosphorylation which is found dominantly in the all green plants. All green plants. So here which is predominantly or found dominantly in the all green plants. And then the ATP is synthesized at only 1 step in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. The ATP is synthesized in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation at only 1 step. These are the few basic important points related to the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So here let us see the electron transportation or the flow of electrons in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So here the involved photosystem is here the P680. P680 is a photosystem 2. In the photosystem 2, the reaction center is P680. Around the reaction center, the chlorophyll pigments are present which can absorb the sunlight. So here the light energy is absorbed by the PS2, that is PS680. So here the PS680 absorb the sufficient energy source from the sunlight and releases electrons and goes to excited state. So here the PS680 which is a photosystem 2. So here the reaction center of photosystem 2 absorb the sufficient energy from the sunlight and releases electrons and goes to excited state. So here the excited state of PS680 donate its electron to the primary or initial electron acceptor, that is here pheophytin. Pheophytin is a modified chlorophyll pigment. So here in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation or the photosystem 2, the initial electron acceptor is here pheophytin. Then the pheophytin transfer the electrons to the plastoquinone. Then plastoquinone transfer the electrons to the cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F complex. Then during the transfer of electrons from plastoquinone to cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F complex, here one ATP molecule is synthesized. So here the ATP is synthesized at the complex of cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F complex with help of the proton gradient. Then the cytochrome B6F complex transfer the electrons to the plastocyanin. Here plastocyanin is a copper containing mobile carrier which does not transfer the electrons to the PS680 because of here the loss of electrons which are replaced by water molecule. So here the photolysis of water which is also occurs in non-cyclic photophosphorylation reaction. So here in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, here the water molecules are broken down into electrons, protons and oxygen. So here the released electrons are enter into the reaction center of PS2, that is P680. So here the loss of electrons which are replaced by the electrons of water. So here the photolysis of water which is also associated with the photosystem 2. So here the photolysis of water which is catalyzed by here the some metal ions, they are manganese, calcium and chloride ions. These are the three main metal ions which are required for the photolysis of water. And then here 4 manganese ions when associated with some proteins to form oxygen evolving complex. That is here OEC. Oxygen evolving complex. That means when the 4 manganese ions associated with proteins to form oxygen evolving complex. So here the oxygen is a byproduct in the photosynthesis. byproduct in the photosynthesis. So here in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation process, here the electrons which are released from the PS680 or reaction center of PS2, these are replaced by the electrons of water when they are released by the photolysis. And then here the plastocyanin does not transfer the electrons to the P680 because of here already the electrons are replaced by the water molecule, particularly the electrons which are released from the water molecule. So here this plastocyanin transfer the electrons to the PS1, that is PS700. So here the PS700 is photosystem 1. Around the PS1 here the chlorophyll pigments are located which absorb the sufficient light energy and releases electrons and goes to excited state. So here the electrons which are released from the PS700 here goes to excited state. Excited state of PS700 donate its electrons to the chlorophyll A, and then it transfer the electrons to the another electron carrier, that is here phylloquinone, and then it transfer the electrons to the ferredoxin. Finally the electrons which are accepted by the NADP+. So here the electrons which are accepted by the NADP+ for its reduction process, further it converted into NADPH+. So here there are two molecules of NADH2 molecules are produced in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So here the electrons which are lost from the PS1 or the reaction center of PS1, these are replaced by the electrons which are transferred from plastocyanin. So here the electrons which are present in the PS700 which are replaced by here the plastocyanin. So here in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, finally the electrons are accepted by here the NADP+. So here accept the electrons and protons. Here the NADP+ is further reduced as here the NADPH+, H+. So here the released protons from the water molecule, these are further utilized for the reduction of NADP+ into the NADPH+, H+. This is the zigzag flow of electron in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation in unidirectional manner. So here the electrons are not flow in the cyclic manner in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So here this is appears as here jet type or jet shape. So here the non-cyclic photophosphorylation which is called as here jet scheme. The name was given by the scientist Robert Hill and Bendall. If we observe the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, here involved photosystems are PS1 and PS2. The initial electron donor in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, that is here water molecule. In the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, the initial electron donor is water molecule, and initial electron acceptor in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation are the PS2, that is here pheophytin. Initial electron donor is water, and initial electron acceptor is here pheophytin, which is a modified chlorophyll. And then the final electron acceptor is NADP plus, NADP plus, and then the produced products are ATP and NADPH. Produced products are ATP and NADPH. So here these are the 4 important points which are related to the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So here we should remember the points which are related to the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, as here the involved photosystems are 1 and 2, and initial electron donor is water molecule, and initial electron acceptor is pheophytin, and final electron acceptor is NADP plus, and the produced products in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation are ATP and NADPH. So here the non-cyclic photophosphorylation or the PS2, which is closely associated with photolysis of water, and also the NADP plus reductase. So here the PS2 or the non-cyclic photophosphorylation has NADP plus reductase enzyme, which is located towards the stroma. So here on the outer surface of thylakoid membrane, which is towards the stroma. So here this is about the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Here the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, which is mainly inhibited by the herbicide, that is here DCMU. That means here dichlorophenyl dimethyl urea. Dichlorophenyl, I will write here, dichlorophenyl dimethyl urea. So here dichlorophenyl and dichlorophenyl dimethyl urea is a strong inhibitor to the PS2 photosystem 2 or the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, because of it blocks the transfer of electrons in between PS2 and PS1. So here the transfer of electrons which occurs in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation blocked by the strong inhibitor, that is DCMU, dichlorophenyl dimethyl urea. It is a strong inhibitor to the PS2, which is a herbicide. And then here here last one more point, that is here the uphill and downhill steps. In the cyclic photophosphorylation there is one uphill and one downhill. One uphill and one downhill occurs in the cyclic photophosphorylation. Uphill means the electrons which are transferred from one carrier to another. Here when the reaction center of PS1 absorbs the certain amount of or sufficient energy from the sunlight and goes to excited state. So here this is the uphill step of the cyclic photophosphorylation. Then the electron flow and gradually down, or efficiency is down, that is here the downhill step. In the cyclic photophosphorylation there is one uphill and one downhill occurs, but in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation here one uphill and another uphill, two uphills and two downhill reactions. Here the two uphills and two downhills steps which are occurs in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Two uphill and two downhill steps which are associated with or occurs in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. This is about the cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation.